Good morning, traders, investors. Dale Circuit Trader Boys. We got a fairly flat market here. S&P up 2, Nasdaq's down 20. We hit both record highs in the Nasdaq and the S&P there yesterday. Dow's up 34. We had some big earnings from Target and Lowe's last night. Phenomenal earnings, just mind-blowing. Dollar is up slightly. Right? We just got the move up here in the treasuries here, which means the interest rates are rising. And oil is down a little bit. Gold is dropping surprisingly here. And big major tech stocks here are all basically flat or down. Tesla, 1873, huge run on their announcement of the 5-1 stock split. Our coronavirus plays are looking pretty good here. They're getting some action. So what we may see today is a little bit of sector rotation. Money coming out of techs and come into consumers and coronavirus plays. On the oil front, basically flat to slightly down and not much happening on our watch list right here. So on the Dow 30, let's take a look. We've got Apple down slightly, but the retailers are getting some love. Financials are getting some love here. And what else we got? Johnson & Johnson, any other big names getting some big pops here. Dow Inc., Raytheon, that's pretty much it. Right, fairly flat market. So news front, big day in the market. So we got CPI coming out here in just a few minutes, and 12 minutes coming out at 8:30 Eastern. And the big one today, we got the big kahuna. We got FOMC minutes. So the Fed are going to release their minutes, and this is the largest market moving event in the market. Right. So for new investors, this is the most dangerous event. For seasoned investors, this is where we can make a lot of money very quickly on large amount of movements. On other news here, we got crude oil inventories coming out 10:30 every Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So that may get crude moving a little bit, oil inventories moving a little bit, and we'll see what takes place there. In the charts, we got the S&P. This is the SPY, the exchange traded fund for the S&P 500. You can see the new all-time high it printed there yesterday. Let's come back and we'll take a look at the futures this morning. In the S&P futures, we are just continuing to go higher and higher. So we put a new high in there this morning in the overnight session. Not a great deal to really look at here. You can see in the 60-minute time frame, we couldn't get above that overnight high, and we have turned lower. Now we've got to get below this low in here before anything really can take place and happen for us. So we break this low, and those buyers will be out of the way, and then we can get all the way down into these lows down in this area right in here would be the next area, which is really coming off here. So that would be your area of demand right in there. So if the markets can get below this low right here, right, we can get down to 33.55, and then we can continue that upward trend moving to the upside. Right. On the Russell 2000, look at the daily time frame. We are still really doing nothing much to report on the Russell 2000. We may see that sector rotation and get the pop in the Russell today. And as we reported many times, 1630 is where the next supply level is. We're currently at 1573. In the Nas has broken below this little demand zone already. So we got some weakness coming to the NASDAQ, so we may be able to get a short on the NASDAQ here. Right here in the overlap of these two candles on a 5-minute time frame, you will find a little supply level there. There is a little bit more demand right in this area here, but once we break that, we can get all the way down to this demand level here, and that would be a nice little short play for you to tackle right there. So the NASDAQ is seeing weakness, and we now have sellers in control. We get confirmation break below this price here, but we already got through this area here, and we are looking good for a short on the NASDAQ. All right, so in the next day to two, that will give you some buying opportunities on some big tech companies if we can get the NASDAQ to continue to sell off there. VIX is doing the same. Right around that 22 area, not much happening here. This is basically saying there's not a lot of fear in the markets, and we may see that change a little today. Oil front, we are basically kind of sideways here. Not a lot to report, not a lot to do. Now you can see the buying pressure on these long candles in here. Right, all these big long tails, that's all buying pressure. So we break below this area here. There is demand right there. Okay, right in there is a demand level, unfilled buy orders, and that's what created this push to the upside. that may project us. So 10:30 this morning, Eastern time, you're going to have oil inventories. That'll get oil moving. On the gold front, we have given up all of the gains of yesterday. This is the daily chart of gold. We've given up all the gains of yesterday. We're coming into the lows there of yesterday. Let's go to the 60-minute time frame, and let's see what we got. We're into the buyers right here. Not a lot there. Next level of demand is going to be down in this region here. You've got a level of demand here and a level of demand here, and then you get old resistance becoming new support at 1965 here. So gold could simply drop all the way down to here, and that would be a nice retracement to continue the move north. This is the trend line that I mentioned yesterday, and it worked to the tick. That's amazing when you draw trend lines correctly, the power of trend lines. Last one here is the bond market. Bond markets have dropped into demand. Beautiful demand level here on the daily time frame. We do have a reversal, and bonds are currently rising. So money coming out of the technology companies, coming into the treasuries. Right? Standard market rotation. That's Dale Suggett. Hope you have a phenomenal Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow morning. Have a great day.